All right, and we're on. Hey, Rick, how you doing
Hello,
today?
hello. How are you?
All right. So, anyways, so for everybody at home there, tonight we're gonna be looking at comics that went on sale in July 1939 from Quality Comics and United Feature Syndicate. We're gonna be taking a quick peek at what we can from the 40th issue of Tip Top Comics from United Features, and then our readings will be from Smash Comics Volume 1, Number 2, and Feature Comics Volume 1, Number 24. So, Rick, how are you doing today?
I am doing swell. I'm almost done all the corrections that I need to do on my comic for the Canadian Shield 2. So, that's good. Feeling good getting that project almost done and, just got it printed and then it's in and sent out and then it's all in the bag, as they say. I think they'd say, anyways. I don't know who they are, but
Yeah, well, we just shot back down from 4 to 2 on the watch. We had 4 people waiting, but then it only shot down to so trying to make sure that I gotta acknowledge. And if you want to share your links to anything you're doing, Rick, you have my permission to do that.
yeah.
I guess we'll wait a few minutes see if anybody comes back in. Are you still on YouTube? Do you still have your YouTube screen on or no?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Um, well, what did I get it yesterday? I think I got it yesterday.
Hmm.
Yeah, yesterday I got myself, well, technically I bought it before then, but it arrived yesterday, a 3D printer.
Okay. So you got it
It's
delivered yesterday then.
yeah. Well, technically it was they tried to deliver it on Wednesday and because I missed the buzzer by like 30 seconds, I ended up having to go pick it up at a specific spot, where the delivery company brings their stuff that they're not able to get to people at. I was like,
Yeah,
really? So
yeah,
went, picked it up, got it all set up, even printed up a little thing, for testing and all that. So that's, cool. And it was only $90 Canadian plus taxes and that.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
pretty.
I've been running behind all week because I've been battling a bug, but I think as I said, I'm finally getting it out of me now. So you know,
Yeah.
um, but anyways,
Uh,
hopefully we can get some
one of
people in
those,
here.
but yeah.
Oh, what was that?
Best way to battle the flu bug, if that's what you're talking about. Stack on lots of blankets or uh, comforters or whatever. Sweat it out.
Yeah. Well, I did quite a bit of sweating today because I had to actually walk my laundry up to the laundromat to to get it done. So that was about like I think about 4/10 of a mile away or something like that from my house. So I walked that thing. Walked with my laundry basket, my full load of laundry to go to the laundromat to do my laundry because our
Uh,
washer's been busted. So and now a
uh,
water softener. So, anyways, that's pretty much what we've been doing there. Yeah. I don't. Did you want to put any links up for your stuff or?
well, right now I'll put one for the. I did a video on the unboxing of it and setting it up in my first print. I put a link
Okay.
in there for that for now for anybody that wants to check it out later.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
and of
there we go.
course I will.
And there it is.
I'll put my link into my Indiegogo later and yeah, my YouTube channel, maybe my
All right.
Twitter as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming up on 5 minutes. And there's a couple of us here, so I guess we can go ahead and get started. Um, get started a little bit more quicker than usual. Anyways, well, I'll talk to you after about that. Um,
about our next date.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not in having a date.
Right.
Just
Either the next
next
time you come on to help out with
recome.
yeah, next time you co-host. All right. So here we go. So we're gonna first off look at now, as you can see here. No, again, this is one of the few books where they don't have any real details on it, other than, of course, the date it came out. Of course, cover date August. But we can at least take a look at the cover here. To number 40, Tip Top Comics, August, which meant it went on sale in July. 5 pages of the Captain and the Kid, 7 pages of Tarzan. So as you can tell, and this was happening in a lot of the books, a lot of the features, they were getting more and more pages.
Yeah.
Well, it's still 10 cents. There's a captain right there sleeping as his kids seem to be wanting to drop a
brick
brick
on him.
on his head. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys look at this for a moment because I think I need to tend to my dog here for a moment. So I will be right back.
Well, he's really going to feel that one. He's really going to get popped over that. He's really going to pop over that. It's it's not another brick in the wall. And it's another brick in the face. I'd say he gets stoned, but that's not a stone.
Well, in that particular case, Rick, there's Stone had a double entendre right there. Now I know
Well, that's that's what I was meaning.
yeah, I mean, I know from what you're probably talking about is the biblical meaning of the word, where you basically stone somebody to death, by throwing stones at them.
No,
But
I
then
was
again,
talking about the drug one.
yeah, and that's where I was go. That's where I was going next. I was going the other meaning, of course, meaning stoned as in being high on or under the influence of a foreign substance.
Of a drug of some sort,
Yeah.
usually.
Or as Huey Lewis would put it, I want a new drug, one that won't make me sick. Park my car in the heart. anyways, so yeah, so I'll just go down a little bit further there. So yes, this is of course the my sister's here. I think so. I think she can handle dog. So even though she
The
barks.
Doog. Well, people, I can barely hear it at times, so
Yeah.
you're probably hearing it worse than us.
Well, only because I'm obviously here. But anyways,
Yeah.
so we're done with that. So I'll go ahead and move on to the selections here. So we're gonna go down to quality comics now. We're gonna start with Smash Comics #2. Look at Black X and yeah. I know
So
I didn't get it. I know I didn't really I know I really didn't assign you any roles or anything like that.
Well, we
I
play
don't
it
know if
by
you had a
ear
chance.
usually, so
Right.
we're supposed to see the quality of these comics.
Yeah. Uh, First off, Smash. Smash had a pretty good run during its time. It ran for like 85 issues. So.
But they got smashed into nothingness.
Well, yeah, Quality ended up getting bought out by DC in the 50s. There, that's why you had a lot of their characters end up going to DC. In fact, a lot of their main characters, like Uncle Sam, Doll Man, Black Condor, Phantom Lady, the Ray, Human Bomb, all those characters, ended up
Yeah, they made
becoming
up the team, the
part of
Freedom
freedom
Fighters.
fighters in the late 70s. And then you had Plastic Man and Blackhawks, who were also quality comic characters. But anyway, September #2 here. That's a cover date, obviously. Now, Black Ace, where are those secret army plans? The Alones are trying to torture him right there.
You're not showing, Mike.
Oh, oops. Sometimes you can get so into something that you forget certain little things like that.
Yeah,
Right? Right?
yeah. Oh, like he's reading. Does he know he's not showing?
Well, thank you for letting me know. Now look at it.
Huh. Archie O'Toole.
Yeah. You remember that? I think you remember that one too, right? Right, Rick?
Oh, Archie O'Toole. No, I just
Well,
well
just
the
I
two.
would have figured. Would have figured I've had you on before when we've done quality. I figured you might have remembered him because
No,
I thought I was reading him during the time you were on with me. But
I don't remember that. Could be wrong. Um, no, but the name Archie, of course, caught me because I like Archie comics,
right.
and O'Toole caught me because recently the head of the Conservative Party here was a guy named Aaron O'Toole,
Hmm.
and he was a real tool.
Yeah. Yeah. So September #2, of course, that's the cover date. 10 cent Smash Comics. And what you'll find about the interesting thing about quality comics, they had a few titles that were different versions of some type of offensive strike.
Hmm.
So we'll get more into that as we get into them over the months to come. Now, Black X, where are those secret army plans? See them right there, and they got what looks like some kind of electrified sticks, electrified spears.
Yeah, or maybe that's supposed to be hot. It's hard to say back from those days what it would supposed to be. And then of course you got the guy that looks like he's from the KKK, except gray. But that could be because he's in shadows.
Yeah.
Either that or he's Cobra Commander
Yeah.
before Cobra
Yeah.
Commander.
In this issue, Espionage, a thrilling full-length picture story featuring the Black X. Now, he
Picture story. You gotta love
early
that.
on, I think ultimately they did choose to call him Black X. Early on, they kind of were going back and forth between Black X and Black Ace here on
Mm,
terms of his name. Black Ace, as he's known, is the guy tied up there.
mm.
Um, let's see. Also, Clip Champs, Phil Pot, Veep,
Might want
Sheik,
to go down. Oh, there we go.
Sheik Carter, the Lone Star Rider, Captain Cook, Invisible Justice, and many more. Do 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 do. Wings Wendell, Archie O'Toole, Rosa the Robot, and Abdul the Butcher. Abdul the Arab.
Abdul the Butcher.
You know who I was thinking of at that point? Well, don't you? Anyway, so let's get into this. And it flipped on by itself, even without me hitting really anything. That now on the bargain offer. Nomination for as little as 10 cents a day. This beautiful desk for only one. Now, can you imagine that being able to get a desk
For a
for?
buck?
And look at the size of that desk, how thick that desk looks too.
Yeah, and you get the typewriter with it too.
Apparently, yeah. Ah, and I guess that thing on the left there is a bunch of pencils and pens, and then you got the book on the right.
Yeah.
Remington portable type with for only $1 with any
Oh,
Remington portable
oh,
typewriter.
oh, so you got to buy the portable typewriter and you get the desk for an for a buck extra.
These extras for you, learn typing free, special carrying cards, specifications. And then the old mail coupon. Of course, the old mail coupon now kind of thing. So,
Yeah. So it says money back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied with if you buy the desk and the typewriter and you're not satisfied with the typewriter, do you get to keep the desk?
couldn't tell you, but that would be an interesting question. Remington Rand Incorporated, Department 409-10, 465 Washington Street, Buffalo, New York. Tell me, without obligation, how to get a free trial of a new Remington noiseless portable, including carrying case and free typing instructions
Mm.
booklet for as little as
Uh,
10 cents a day. So,
so
anyways,
that's about $3 a month.
I guess it. And here we go. The first feature here, a complete Black Ace story by Irwin. Now, Irwin, just in case for those who may not have known, Irwin was one of the pseudonyms used by Will Eisner.
Mm-hmm.
So, for those who may not have known, espionage. Now, the name of the feature is espionage. The name of the character in it is Black Ace. For this story, anyways. War in the Far East. Since the first Sino-Japanese clash at the Marco Polo Bridge near Peeping, near Peeping, okay, in 1937, the powerful modernized army of Imperial Japan has steadily forced its way across far-flung China in an undeclared but bloody war. So you see China, you see Japan, you see Japan, Russia, all that.
Yeah.
To the north, powerful,
I
silent. Oh,
must say, it's funny on this map. They have the land bodies in blue, which would normally be water, and the
uh-huh.
water in green, which would normally be land.
Well, that is an interesting observation, but another way you could look at it too is that it's the land in this case is blue, but it's kind of a lighter shade of blue, like almost a
Yeah,
snowy blue,
yeah,
and then the water is you're saying the water they have colored green here, but that's not necessarily like that's more like an olive green.
yeah. But I'm just saying it's enough to trick the eyes, and still, till I look really good at first, I thought where the green was land, and then I'm like, that doesn't make sense because I know the area.
You notice they also have another piece of, I guess, little land right there,
Of a
in
different
the
country, yeah.
lower left hand corner there.
Yeah, that's the
That's more of a
background background.
auburn or light, some kind of pink auburn color.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, to the north, silent, powerful Soviet Russia waits and watches as the legions of the rising sun march toward her frontiers. So you want to do this guy right here?
Okay. Men of war, the Soviet Union. It has become clear that Japan. Oh, sorry, wrong. I was thinking he was Chinese. Or men of war, Soviet. That's wrong. Ah, sorry.
No problem.
Okay, men. I'll just read a regular. Men of war of the Soviet Union. It has become clear that Japan intends to invade our borders. We have no choice but to declare war.
And in Japan, Russia's attempts to spread her propaganda in China has become intolerable. We have no choice but to declare war on Soviet Russia. Thus, with China as a battleground, the two mighty air armadas of the greatest Asiatic powers clash. Boom! Boom!
Crash! There's a
Uh-huh.
little crash up in the corner.
Yeah. In a cheap hotel in New York City, two men peruse the daily papers. Let's see. You want to do the guy in the chair there talking? The blonde hair guy?
Okay. I wish he'd stop reading politics and figure a new racket. I ain't eating a good meal in.
All right. I'll do the guy on the left here, and you can do the guy on the right. Um, how do you like to make $1,000,000 in 3 weeks, Dynamo?
Take it easy, Duke. I got a weak card.
Let's see. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Listen. The war in Asia is being fought mostly by planes. I figure that the winner will be the country which brings down the most planes.
Yeah, so what?
I see the papers that Ellis Craven, the inventor, is giving his X beam to the government. It can bring down a plane flying 5,000 feet above the earth.
Don't tell me anymore. I get you. I smell steak and potatoes now.
Hey, Rick, let me ask you something. Does this plot kind of sound familiar to you?
Yes and no.
I think we've read this a similar plot in some other features, haven't we?
Oh, probably.
The
You
idea
know.
of a scientist developing developing
uh,
cure or a weapon or something to give to the government for the betterment of the world.
Yeah.
We've
Uh,
seen we've seen that plot before, haven't we?
oh, yeah. That's a typical plot in comics, especially in this day and
Yeah,
age.
in this time period. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Anyway,
formulaic. It's easy to write. You know, you just spill it, put in new names and all that.
I'll get to reading the next part in a moment here. So let's do this. Sometimes you have to like kind of chime in on the chat in order to
Yeah.
get YouTube to realize, hey, there's more than one person there.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyways, in Washington D.C. Hello. I'll let you do the chief, the guy sitting down. I'm gonna do because the guy coming in there is actually Black Ace
Yeah.
right there. So
Well, I think they're both standing. It's just one's further in the room closer to us. But I could be wrong.
hello,
We'll
hello,
find out.
hello, chief. Anything new?
Oh, hello, Black Ice. Yes, yes, there is. I'm going out to Langley Field to see the new X beam work. Want to come along?
Thanks. I'd be glad to. Late that afternoon, um, their plane roars down the field. Roars down the field. Interesting way to put it, huh?
Yeah.
And points his shiny nose south to Virginia.
This this new invention, Black Ace, may revolutionize military aviation.
Langley Field is a scene of busy confusion as a secret showing is planned. In the officials box, I'll do the guy. Okay, so neither Black Ace or the Chief, but I'll do the guy in the uniform there. You can do the older guy up in front of him. All right.
Yep.
The field is ready for the experiment, Mr. Craven.
Very well. Send up the plane. I'm ready.
A plane's motor roars. A pilot trots across the field.
I think it would have been better if they went as a pilot trots across the field. But,
And this is you because I gave you
yeah,
Craven right there.
yeah. I will explain my invention as it works. The X beam is very simple but efficient apparatus.
At a signal, the plane zooms aloft.
Now I simply focus the sights on the plane like a camera or a rifle sight. Now tell the pilot to leave ship.
Bail out. Okay,
Now I'll pull this beam lever. Oh, no, I'll pull this beam lever. I wasn't sure who it was talking. I was thinking it was the pilot at first, but it was the guy on the ground in the.
Yeah. The plane plummets earthward. Earthward. Do you know what that word means? When it says
Yeah.
earthward.
Well, I think it'd be the opposite to skyward. In other words, to the ground.
Right. It basically plummets towards the ground, basically. Completely destroyed.
You see, the plane was instantly demolished. I think that's yours, the perfect.
I'm not sure because I can't tell if that's a chief. I don't think it's Black X or the Navy guy. I think it is you. Perfect from the chief.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. And besides, the X beam is so light that we could easily manufacture 1,000 of them in a month.
Why with this machine, American borders will be safe from any invasion, Mr. Craven. Name your price.
Money, I don't want a cent. This invention is my contribution for my country's defense. I'm giving it to them.
Now, what did I just say a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like a very, very familiar plot for this period of time in history and comics history and all that, right?
And movies and things like that. TV series.
Right. 1 mile away, Dynamo and Duke watch the field through powerful super telescopes.
Didn't you see that ship blow up, Duke?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. We're going to pay Mr. Ellis Craven a little visit. Next day, the papers are ablaze with reports. Army test, new beam, extra, new beam. The following evening, the quiet Craven home receives 2 visitors.
Yes, whom do you wish to see? Oops. Guess you should have been reading that one.
Yeah, well, okay, I'll go back and read. Yes? Whom do you wish to see?
We're
Where
from the. Oh,
uh, I think that's Duke as opposed to Dynamo.
okay.
Um, we're from the American Arms Company. Oh, come in. Father is expecting you. I've come to purchase your invention, Mr. Craven.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I've already assigned the patents to the U.S. Army. It is not for sale.
But you've still got the notes. Hand them over.
A gun? You're thieves? Help!
Give it to him, Dynamo. A few minutes later, the killers are speeding away. Step on the gas, Dynamo.
Boy, oh boy, this is a cinch. What do we do next?
Hide. Every Fed and G-man in the country will be looking for us. We just sit tight and bide our time. Then we offer the invention for sale cheap.
Yeah, a bargain, 2 million bucks. Well, I'm not sure whether that's cheap even back then, but unlike some of the people that have asked for money in these things, they're
Uh-huh.
saying it's a whole lot.
Yeah. The news of Craven's murder and the stealing of his papers throws Army headquarters into a furor. Look at how they spelled furor back then. They added an E at the
Yeah.
end. Nowadays, you don't see
Oh,
that E anymore.
well, would it be into a fure or into a fury?
No,
I know it's not.
yeah,
Some
I
of
would
it's a
I
way
would
different.
still think it would still be pronounced furor into
Yeah,
a fur, furor.
because when I think of fure, especially back then, I'm thinking maybe it's spelled differently. Of course, I'm thinking the
Well,
head
yeah,
of something
you're
like
talking about the
uh,
the German chancellor, or
yeah,
or the man who shall not be named, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying
So
to say it without saying his name,
yeah.
but
Well,
the,
that
that conversation that we were
I
having, it
understood
would have
it,
been pretty.
that particular spelling is Fuhrer.
Yeah,
So, but for Führer, or well, I think there's a slight like what you're talking about with the German chancellor. I think it's pronounced
furrowy,
Fü-
furrowy.
Führer.
Yeah,
Whereas Führer, Führer is probably the correct pronunciation of this word. Anyway,
yeah. I was just
what?
thinking
No.
with an E, it might have ended similar to Fury. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go on.
All right. What? No clue. Keep on it. And then I'll let you do the second one there.
Well, I'm doing the third one. Uh,
Oh,
what?
okay. Put more men on it. I want action.
There must be some traces. Oh, and maybe I got the wrong. He looked like.
Yeah, I think we switch. Okay, let's do that again because I think we switched.
Well,
What?
I
No
think the
clue.
three nobodies, but
Yeah. What? No clue. Keep on it.
put more men on it. I want action.
There must be some traces. In Black Ace's apartment, he and his superior confer. So yeah.
There's absolutely no
Oh,
clue. Nothing to work on, Ace.
I have a plan, but before I take on the case, I want one promise. Call off all the agents working on it now. Let it be known that the espionage is stumped.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want the killers to think they got away with it. Agreed to your plan. Good luck, Black Ace.
Next morning, Espionage baffled. Agents called. No clues, say officials.
Ha
Uh,
ha! The
oh wait,
suckers.
actually, that's me, and then I think you're
I thought
ha
yours
ha
was
ha ha. The suckers now. We go to work. Dynamo, get 2 phony passports. China will while I pack.
right.
I'll let you do Batu. Of course, I'm doing Black Ace here. Uh, Batu, Batu, we're gonna play a long shot. Both Japan and Russia are deadlocked. I've a hunch those crooks are going to try to sell the X-Beam to either country.
What we do, master?
We're going to China. That invention rightfully belongs to the United States, and we've got to recover it. Hong Kong, the key British seaport of the East, is now a haven for refugees and spies of war-torn countries. Now, for historical sake, to just kind of remind everybody, Hong Kong at this point, I believe, was a British
Colony or
colony, or
under British
it was
rule?
part of the British Commonwealth. It was part of the British Commonwealth.
Yeah.
So, just just for people to know. Arriving first, Black Ace immediately goes to work. We'll we'll separate, Batu. As soon as you have a clue, get in touch with me.
Oh yes, master.
2 days later, Dynamo and Duke arrive. I think in this case you're up front there.
Okay. We'll contact both sides, Japan and Russia.
Yeah, sell it to the highest bidder. Yeah, Duke is the one with glasses between the two bad guys there. So the
Okay.
next few days prove favorable to Duke and Dynamo. The Russian and Japanese air armadas meet in the greatest battle of the war. It is a deadlock, and both sides are forced to retreat. Duke decides the time is ripe. Mm. Uh, we've got 2 models of the X Beam. You get in touch with the Russian agents. I'll contact the Japanese agents.
Okay. There's only one problem. They got the notes from the guy, but they could have put it together wrong, and he might have not put some stuff down on those notes that he did.
That's true, but you know those little plot holes. They always show up in these stories, don't they?
Yeah, or sometimes they don't. But it is what it is. It's nice to make fun of it every once in a while.
And if you want to share your
Yeah,
links, Rick, right now might be a good time
yeah, yeah. I was
in the
just
chat.
about to put my one to my Indiegogo in for the Canadian Shield 2 and more.
Mhm. So, anyways, there we go. All right, so getting ready to move on to the next page, and I of course scroll back up here. In a smoky waterfront dive in Hong Kong, you can tell your government that I won't sell for less than 2 million in cash. Want to do the Japanese agent there?
Oh, you will receive proper sum when the machine is proven. We will hold demonstration tomorrow.
As the Japanese agent departs, Duke's eyes falls on a smartly dressed figure in the corner. I wonder who that guy is. He's sure out of place in this joint. Maybe he's a Russian agent. I'll find out. Maybe I can get a better price out of him. And notice that too. That he
Yeah.
picked up on that right away, right?
Yeah.
After a brief introduction, Duke offers the X-beam for sale. I'll offer you okay. I'll offer you $3 million in behalf of Buteria. Sounds okay. I'll take it. But um, but what about Japan? That would be double crossing them. Say, for $3 million, I'd double cross my grandmother. Oh, isn't he? Isn't he just a nice guy, right,
Yeah.
Rick?
Yeah, and pretty stupid. Just because you think a guy is, something in a bar, just because he seems a little out of place, you go up to him and talk to him. You're just asking for trouble. You don't go up to somebody you don't know. You're gonna get yourself caught for sure.
Well, I think in this context, yeah, there are certain circumstances where that would be okay, but this is not one of those circumstances, obviously.
Yeah,
Anyway,
especially when you're dealing with something as big as this.
yep.
Oh, I
Later that
have. Oh, sorry.
later
Go ahead.
that night, Black Ace and Batu meet to compare notes.
I have found address of Duke and Dynamo, Sabib.
Good work, Batu. We must get there before they show the X-beam to the Japanese or Russian agents. You want in? You wait in the plane I've hired. In the thieves' room, there's the X-beam. Model plans. Mighty careless of them. Too careless. Doesn't that seem kind of for
Convenient?
par for the course for the times, right?
Yeah.
Black Ace's Black Ace's suspicions are correct as he touches the box. A hidden spring is released, and lucky I sidestepped. No wonder it was left in plain view. There was apparently a trap there.
Yeah.
Black Ace quickly gathers up the packages and leaves unaware that he is being watched. Turn the motors over, Batu. Hurry.
Okay, so
Well,
who's doing what?
yeah.
Because I
Well,
think one
I
might
think
be your guy.
well, no, the two up top there are you because both you notice the two word bubbles up top there are both
Oh,
pointing at your character of
okay.
Dynamo, and
Okay, I
then
didn't realize
I,
it was
I think
Dynamo.
I think all three of them because I think that's a Japanese agent from earlier. So
Okay. I didn't realize that, but okay, no problem. Look here. Look here. Didn't double D you. That guy was an imposter. Just lend us some army planes. Yeah, we still got another model of the X Beam. We'll get him. Very well, gentlemen. But if you are trying to betray me, my country, betray my country, beware.
With a heavy load of gasoline, Black Ace's ship takes off. Head south by west, Batu. If we can make India, we'll be safe.
Yes, Sahabi.
A few minutes later, Duke and Dynamo take to the skies with 3 Army pursuit ships. That's a plane heading west. Set up the X-beam, Dynamo.
Okay, Duke.
In Black Ace's plane, we're outnumbered, Batu. If I can get this X-beam mounted in time, we may have a chance.
Look, there he is. I'll give it to him. Give him a taste of lead first.
The Army plane swoops in its guns, spitting lead. Spitting lead! Interesting way of saying that, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Black Ace focuses the X-beam on the oncoming plane. The fighter's motor explodes, and as it screams earthward, another plane roars upon Black Ace, guns blazing. Batu, you're hurt. Here, let me at the controls.
No, Sahabi. Me, all right.
But Black Ace insists, and with Batu lying on the floor, the espionage agent takes the stick. Once more, the Army planes swoop to the kill. Batu's deepest eyes blaze with hypnotic brilliance.
There are powers besides guns to thwart our enemies.
What powers do you think those are, Rick?
Some Hindu ones or Buddhist ones or whatever. Psychic ones.
Yeah. Considering how he's putting his hands on his head like that, right? Isn't that kind of a common? You've seen it in cartoons and comics, so like that when somebody's like doing some kind of like
mental thing,
psychic powers, like if you know, like Charles Xavier, for example, doing some kind of psychic powers, like do this, right? It's kind of a commonplace thing, right?
Yeah.
Right? In the cockpit of the pursuing plane, a ghostly vision of Batu appears. The pilot shrieks in terror. Out of control, the ship crashes. Want to do the crash sound?
Crash!
Hey, Dynamo, get the beam working. We'll get him now. Oh. Okay. That's 2 away, as they say in baseball. Hey, Batu. But Batu cannot answer, for exhausted by the mental strain of the hypnosis and several wounds, he faints. Okay. Oh, this is you, Rick.
No, he's saying keep the plane steady, Duke. Oh yeah, keep the plane steady, Duke. I'm trying to get a beat on him.
But Black Ace cuts his motors and glides earthward. I've got to get Batu to a doctor. There's a village below. You're first there. You're the one up top.
This thing won't work, Duke.
That's because he's cut this motors. Look, Dynamo, he's landing. Black Ace lands in a narrow jungle clearing. Wow, look at that. Going from...
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah, going from there to there. Wow. Followed by Duke.
You know what? That has to be a really small plane.
Something to that effect.
Or those are really big trees.
He's carrying someone out of the plane. Open fire. If I can make the huts, is there a doctor in this village? You want to do the doctor there?
Why, I'm a doctor. Put your friend on this couch.
While the doctor cares for Batu, Ace opens fire, darting from tree to tree. He makes for the plane. The Yao is you.
Okay, I wasn't sure. No!
Well, I can tell because if you see the guy with
Oh, no,
glasses who
no.
I am.
Yeah, no glasses.
Bang! Black Ace scores. Black Ace Black Ace reaches his plane. Quickly, he stuffs a secret note into his pocket. But as he steps forward, bang! I got him now. We can fly back to Hong Kong and collect the dough.
Hurt! Help me!
Duke's lips part in a fiendish grin. He sneers. Wounded? Huh? Now ain't that too bad. Sorry, Dynamo. Old boy, you're through.
You can't. I'm your buddy. Your partner.
What's that old what okay, so Rick,
No
what
honor among thieves.
right, exactly where I was going with that. No honor among thieves. Exactly where I was going with that. Not anymore. I'm gonna keep all the dough myself. So long, sucker.
Duke, Duke, come back. I'll die here.
As the Duke takes off, Black Ace regains consciousness. He must escape the X beam in my plane. At the same moment, Dynamo crawls painfully towards Ace's ship with the same idea. As they meet, Black Ace draws ready to die fighting.
Nick's on the right. I'm on your side. Now, come on. Let's get that rat.
With Black Ace at the controls, they take off in pursuit. In Duke's plane, I've cut the motor, so he can't use the beam now to use the machine guns on them.
He's gonna use them. I think that's you. I think that's
No, that's you.
okay. He's gonna use the machine guns, and this plane's unarmed. Only one thing I can do.
Hey, don't jump. Hey, help!
Hello, you double-crossing rat!
The plane plunges earthward. The two men die in the crash. There they go, clawing at each other as they fall to their doom. There's no honor among thieves. Didn't we just say that? Didn't we just say that?
Yeah.
in Washington at Black Ace's favorite restaurant a few weeks later.
What happened after that?
Well, I went back for Batu. His wounds were slight, and I was only nicked. The rest you know, of course.
Yes, the United States now has the greatest military defense secret in the world.
In my opinion, the greatest defense any nation can have is the loyalty of its people. Another
I would.
exciting. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I agree with that.
Yeah. Another exciting espionage adventure featuring the Black Ace in the October issue of Smash Comics. Now we'll kind of be breezing through here a little bit through some other stuff, and of course, if you want to comment on
Uh,
the art as well as because I know you're a bit of an artist.
yeah.
Um,
I'm just gonna turn on my fan and grab a quick sip of something to drink. So I'll be back in hopefully less than a minute.
all right. Actually, I'm going to step away for a quick moment too here. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Had to do something real quick. Don't know if Rick's back yet.
Yeah, I am.
All right. So, anyways, as I said, we'll start moving on to. We'll start looking through this, and of course, if you want to comment on some of the artwork here as we go through, Rick.
Lone Star Rider.
Rick, what are your impressions of kind of the color scheme here that they use?
Oh, pretty good.
They're pretty
It's
bright,
good
aren't
for
they?
yeah, it's pretty good for its time. There's very little shading or very and lighting,
Yeah.
or just barely. Um, and they do this in a lot of comics today, but as you can see, at least in the middle panel there's not much of a background. Some of these,
Hmm.
it's just a color. I've done a little in mine, but I try to make it consistent with whatever's around. Like these walls, are they blue or green?
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of fixated on the lovely lady right there.
Yeah, of course.
That's a nice looking lady right there.
Yeah,
Don't
for sure.
don't you just wish she could just pop right off the page for you?
Yeah, for sure. They've always been good at doing, I think, ladies in comic books.
Well, if I understand correctly, I guess, and this might be an example of it. Of course, I believe the term that was used for that kind of artistry was good girl art.
Yeah. Well, I
Does
don't
that
think at
fall
this
into it
point.
or no?
I don't know much about the term for sure. I know there's good girl stuff and bad girl, but I don't think this time frame would have fit into it. That you might have seen more in the 80s and 90s.
Now look at this. This is more of a humor thing, I think.
Yeah,
So pop beat. Look at how they drew some of that, right?
yeah,
Actually, the one little guy there, right there, in that one panel, almost looks more like a ventriloquist dummy, almost.
yeah. Well, I
Looks
think he's
more
probably supposed to be a short person, a midget, a little person, whatever the correct term is nowadays.
sports traits. You got Ernie Lombardi, catcher for the Cincinnati Reds, with a few notations there. Hugh Hazard and his Iron Man. Or is it Bozo the Robot?
Hopefully, he's not a bozo.
Here's Archie O'Toole. Now Archie O'Toole was along with Black Ace came from they were originally in feature comics and then came over to Smash. Um, so there we go with that one. All right. Oh, an hour. Okay, we're actually just past an hour mark here. So
These guys are all there in front of the sign. Looks like dwarfs.
yeah. Captain Cook of Scotland Yard.
Captain Cook. Is he really in relation to Captain Hook?
Okay, so here's the other feature: the Invisible Justice by Art Gordon.
Yeah,
Now,
we read this one last time,
Art
I believe.
Gordon was a pseudonym for a guy named Art Pinajan. Um, the way it was
Yeah,
spelled though
okay.
was more of a Middle Eastern spelling. So,
Yeah, we can see why he changed his last name for a pseudonym. Nobody be able to pronounce it.
yeah. Kent Thurston, alias the Invisible Hood. Now, the feature is called Invisible Justice. The hero is Invisible Hood. And archenemy of crime returns home after a long, hard day. That's another criminal the Invisible Hood has brought to justice. Yes, I'm called the Invisible Hood, but only because no one knows my true identity. Makes sense. How I wish I were really invisible. Invisibility, what a weapon. I would have crime at my feet. If only.
Is he breaking the fourth wall there?
I'm not sure, but it could. No, I think he's just talking to himself.
Yeah.
Oh well. Let's see what's on the radio news broadcast. You want to do this one?
Okay, newsflash! Professor Hans Van Dorn, famous chemist believed to be working on the new chemical photofluorescent chemical which causes invisibility, has been kidnapped from his home today. Police suspect the Spade Gang. No clues or traces of their whereabouts have been found.
If it's true about Dorn, I've got to find him With invisibility, those crooks will terrorize the nation, rob banks at will, and whatnot. Let me see. My private rogues gallery ought to give me a line on the notorious Spade King. Here it is.
Ooh, Rogue's Gallery. Who does he think he is? The Flash? Oh, and look, Garrick. Jay Garrick?
No, it's Garrick.
Yeah, I
Garrick
know.
Spade.
I'm just joking because he's got the first name as the one
Oh,
Flash's
Jay
last
Garrick.
name.
Well, you have to remember too. This actually predates Jay Garrick's debut in Flash
Yeah.
Comics #1. This
Yeah.
I think this issue predates it by about
Oh, yeah, probably a year or two.
yeah,
I'm just, like,
so inside of a year because Flash #1. While I don't remember off the top of my head when exactly it came out, I do know it came out in 1940. So, but I think it was more like 6 to 8 months after this that Jay Garrick made his debut.
yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
I'm just saying it just to be funny.
Garrick Spade, big time kidnapper, racketeer, and crime organizer, operates from different cities using several hideouts, has eluded police nets every time. Dangerous criminal will stop at nothing. If Spade has Dorn and knows he'll get this chemical, he'll call in his gangs and explain it at a big meeting. That's my chance for breaking up the gang. But his hideout, that's what I don't know. I've got to find it somehow.
And if that guy does the plan that you're thinking that he will, he's a stupid idiot.
What was that?
Oh, just the plan that the Invisible Justice laid out that this Garrick guy is going to do. I think if he does that plan, he's stupid. You don't call everybody in. You get the thing ready and you ship it out to everybody.
But yeah, but what's kind of funny though? That seemed to be how a lot of games seemed to work back then, right?
Yeah,
They'd call everybody in, to some big meeting to go over what the next big racket or the next big heist was going to be. That was common back then.
yeah.
Later, as Thurston is reading the evening paper, this looks like something. Great guns, it is. So Spade's calling his men to the new hideout. Huh? I'd better get going. Agents, come home to office. Take car at Littleton, Pennsylvania railroad station. Spade Mines Incorporated. So he did it in kind of a code in the public notices there.
Yeah.
Next day at the railroad station at Littleton, Pennsylvania, Thurston awaits developments. The gang car is waiting over there with 4 men in it already. And here comes the last man. Thurston hides in the bushes, and as the man passes, let's see, trying to find where the tail is. A little chloroform, and one of Mr. Spade's ace men will be fast asleep. So he carried this torn piece of a five of spades as his identification. That means the agents do not know each other. A torn piece of five of spades. Well, you know what he's probably referring to with that five of spades, right?
Yeah, a deck of cards.
Yeah, playing card.
Yeah. So everybody in the gang probably has one. Who knows what you do when you get past, 13 members of your gang.
Yeah, well, that'd be quite interesting. Unless he's got more than one deck of cards.
Yeah, well, you could tear it off from several corners, but how many how many guys have the five of spades? Once you find that out, can anybody just tear it off?
Let's see, five of spades. Actually, if you tear off 4 corners of it, then you only really have 4 because remember, 5 of spades, that's one specific card out of a
Yeah,
deck of 52.
yeah, but there's only I think there's only 2 corners on it. Most playing cards where there's the 5 and the spade in the corner. So there's 2 corners that can be used twice. But I'm saying, you and me, we both get can we both have a 5 of spades? Corner of a playing card to get in.
Hmm. But anyway, but anyways, it could. But then it could also be 13 because the
Yeah.
5 of spades may just be
Well,
one of the cards that used.
well,
Obviously,
I was just using that as an example. Each one's gonna have somebody's gonna have a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2,
right?
whatever. Unless they're buying, everybody has the 5 of spades, and they're
Yeah,
using multiple decks.
yeah. But anyways, um, as soon as Thurston enters the car, it quickly speeds away for the hideout, up into the hills, through winding roads, and by paths the car speeds on its way, and finally stops at what appears to be an abandoned mine. All right, so hmm. So you want to do
Yeah.
the 2 gangsters right there?
Okay. Here they are, Joe. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. Step on it, you guys.
As the man at the entrance holds out his hand, each newcomer places a torn bit of a 5 of spades in his palm.
Okay, I guess we learned how this works. He's only got 4 members.
Yeah. The 4 ex-holders of the torn card are now led through narrow passages deep in the mine, but Thurston drops back. From his coat lining, Thurston takes out his hood, then putting it on, he explodes. He explores Spade's stronghold. Now to find Dorn. What? I smell chemicals. Yes, that door must be to Dorn's laboratory. I'll let you be Dorn here. Be easy, Professor. I'm here to help you.
Quick! Who are you?
I'm known as the Invisible Hood. I've come to rescue you and break up the Spade game. But above all, I've come for your secret of invisibility, Professor.
Jeez, of course. Yes, I've heard of you. Well, I may have enough of the chemical fixed here now just to cover your hood and robe as an experiment.
Professor Van Dorn has sprayed the chemical over Thurston's hood, and 1 hour later,
It works! It works! Hood, I can't see you!
Professor, this is the greatest moment in my life. Now look at that. So, Rick, let me ask you. I know you're being a comic artist, right? How, their depiction artistically, their depiction of invisibility here. What's your take on it?
I think it's pretty good. They're sort of doing an outline of a person with just a little bit of a cut. Well, in this case, it's a lot of a difference. I think they should have done a shade of yellow, or slightly darker, slightly lighter shade of yellow. They did blue, but as you see in the next panel, they do something almost very similar to the background. You can actually see through. Well, you can a little in this one, even with the blue. You see a bit of the desk behind or whatever.
Huh. Okay. Well, when you look at it, well, maybe not as much with the first panel, but with the second, the one you're referring to, it almost seems more like a chameleon effect.
Yeah.
In the second panel, there, he's matching up more against the wall there. right?
Yeah, and whatever's around. Um, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be, that you see through, but tech to be invisible. I'm not even sure whether it'd be see through. Again, whatever this is probably just bending the light,
Mm-hmm.
as most invisible cloaks do. They don't make you invisible, they just bend the light around you.
Wait, I hear footsteps. It must be Spade's gang. Stall them off until I can get out and bring some help.
Why not just put them under your cloak and go out like that, slow? They won't be able to see you or him.
Because they could still feel him out. I mean, well, look at where they're at the door there.
Yeah.
Do you really think he could carry a normal sized man under his cloak? They're under his clothes there.
Well,
Um,
I'm not saying care. Well, either A, I was thinking walk at first, but if you go into like a corner and put him underneath and just stay there for a couple minutes, they're probably
mhm,
not going to go anywhere near the corner that's empty.
yeah. Well,
Or
anyway,
B, but that's me getting fighting the plot holes,
all right,
the simple solutions, or I think they're simple.
all right. So I think you can do both here.
Who was who? Who was that you were talking to, Professor? Talking? Oh, to myself. Spade. I think you want me to do these two
Yeah.
guys too.
Yeah.
That's funny, boss. I thought I heard somebody else's voice. Listen here, Professor. We're looking for someone. Some one of my agents ain't on the level. Get it? Where is he, huh? Search the place. Look into every mine passage. If that guy gets out, we're lost. Now get to work, Dorn, and you'll better hurry up with that invisibility stuff, or else. There's been no one else here, Miss Spade.
Meanwhile, the invisible hood walks out of the room and heads for the entrance of the mine. Boy, are they going to be surprised. I'll let you do the bad guys.
Hey, Joe! What the? Gee, I must be nuts. Look, the car's moving and nobody's in the driver's seat. Yo!
What do you think? What do you think they're thinking at that moment, Rick?
A ghost?
Yeah, possibly. Right?
Boss! Somebody slugged Joe! And then the car went away with no driver. What? What? So Dorn's double crossed us, eh? Come on, boys. We've got to work to do. So, Dorn, you think you tricked me? The cops will be here in any minute. You're going to make us all invisible. Get me?
Meanwhile, the invisible hood stops at a farmhouse, but now without his hood, and as Kent Thurston, he knocked on the door. Hmm. I'd like to make a phone call. It's urgent. Come right in. At the Federal Bureau of Investigation headquarters. What? You say the Spade gang is now hiding in that mine? Good. I'll send a squad of men at once. Who is this? Hello? Hello? Hung up. As a big car carrying Spade's gang leaves the mine that night, while Spade is himself remains behind.
Hey, boys, look, a car. What's that? A shot? The cops! Step on it! Let them have it! Open her up to the limit, Butch. They're taking it easy following us down the hill. Look out! Turn! Turn!
And the
Help!
gangster's car wildly skids on the turn, and
Help.
while back at the mine,
You refuse. You refuse to make us invisible, Professor, and my men are on their way out of state by now. But before I go, you're going to get. No, no, fine. I forgot to let you read the.
no, I already read the narration there.
Oh, you read Meanwhile
Yeah,
Back at the Mine? Okay.
yeah. So you can go no Spade.
No, no, Spade.
At this moment, Kent Thurston, who has returned, comes upon Spade.
This. And then I think that's.
Oh,
Kent.
maybe I should have been okay. This.
No, I said this.
Oh,
That's the crook. The guy with the back
I
is,
think
I
both
think.
of them are the crooks. Now that I think about it,
No,
both of them are
because it
crooks.
says Kent Thurston has returned. So the guy with the back is Kent Thurston. The invisible guy, I think.
Well, no. This I think was actually I think this was the gangster right there. I think both
Huh.
of them are you.
Oh, okay, okay. This Spade. Wait, don't shoot.
And as for you, oh ugh. Oh, actually, again. Oh,
He's just not in his cloak for whatever reason
yeah.
because he
And
took it off.
yeah. And as for you, oh ugh. Okay. So
Oh,
you're on the left. I'm on the right.
yeah, yeah. No, son, a doctor can't help me now. I'm glad the Spade gang is broken. Uh, you alone have the power of invisibility. Promise me you'll use it only for the good of society. Give me your hand.
I promise, Professor. I'll only use it for the good of society. More of Invisible Justice in the October issue of Smash Comics. So, what did you think of that story, Rick?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see, where are we at? So, we're at hour 23, so we're still pretty good to go on time here.
Yeah,
So,
we should be able to get a story or two in from Quality.
from Feature Comics, yeah.
Oh, feature.
Well, okay, the company. Okay, this is all part of the same company. Quality, like we're reading books that went on sale from Quality Comics. That's the company name.
Yeah,
Okay, the book we're reading from right now is Smash Comics. That's a
yeah.
specific book, and then the other book that we're going to be reading from is Feature Comics.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's what I was wanting to know earlier before we started. I was going to say Quality Comics, but
Yeah,
oh well.
so Clip Chance at Cliffside by Scott Sheridan. Screen Snapshots by Bernard Bailey. Just has some like features of of actors and so in this case they're spotlighting James Cagney there. She Carter, Ace Reporter. Yeah, a lot of these bright colors, they're actually pretty good. Wings Wendell of Military Intelligence. So, look at these colors, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so now we're done with that. So now we're going to go over to Feature Comics issue number 24, so they can get there. And we're gonna go straight to the clock, and then after that we'll probably just wind around back through and just try to read some some random features after that, after we do the clock. So we're at hour 25 right now. So again, still good timing there. Since on these ones we do try to push it more towards 2 hours. So do 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 do. This reminds this reminds me, Nobby. I forgot to load the gun. Look at that. They got this is Joe Palooka, by the way. And you notice some of the names they have there, like Joe Palooka. Do 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 do
Yeah.
do do do.
Well, right now that other guy hopes he's lying.
Yeah, Nobby is manager. Number 24, 10 cents feature comic. Do do do. Starring Joe Palooka. Do do do. And featuring Mickey Finn. Do do do. Jane Arden. Charlie Chan. Lollapalooza. Get some of the names of these characters, like
Yeah.
Lollapalooza, Joe Palooza, Mickey Finn. They of course have other meanings too. And also starring The Clock, Toddy, Ranch Keen, Dixie Dugan, Gallant Knight, Big Top, and the Bungles. Do 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 do. And there's that same advertisement from before.
Yeah.
Charlie Chan. I remember Tim's critique of Charlie when we read it last time was that well, this is just they're just redoing the movie. Why not just wait to watch the movie? Upside by Joe Metro, Lollapalooza.
I guess in case you can't watch the movie, you don't have the money.
Yeah. Or some people just like the Jane Arden and Lena Pry, I believe it down below, right? Maybe not. Okay, I guess it is just Jane Arden.
Well, it says Leanne Pari right at the bottom. It did on that one page. Yeah, Lena Dry.
Lena Pry. Okay, I must have shot right over it. It's Big Top by Ed Whelan, Off the Record, and the Clock. Now, this is another case where the feature has one name and the character has another. So, The Clock Strikes, featuring, of course, The Clock. A complete story by Georgie Brenner. Now, that's a short form of George, of course. Brian O'Brien, who plays the dual role of The Clock, is out for a drive. I may as well drop in and see Captain Kane while I'm in the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood.
I tell you, boss, the cops ain't got a thing on us. And you want to do the boss right there?
Easy, Joe. Someone's coming. Ain't it? And it ain't. Yeah. And it might be a Flatfoot.
Now, Rick, do you know what a flatfoot is?
A police officer.
Yeah, it's
Usually one
it's an
for patrol.
older. Basically, it was from about this time period. A flatfoot was a term they would use for like police or a cop or in full constable on patrol, basically.
Yeah.
Now, if we lay low,
Shh. Wait till we get out of here.
and I'll let you do Captain Kane right there.
Hello, Brian. Glad you dropped in.
Hello, Captain. I just passed Nillet in the hall. What's he on the carpet for? More swindling?
And how do you know that was Nillet? And how do
by
you know that was Nillet?
by his pictures in the papers. What he do this time?
Eh, we had a complaint that he sold some worthless stocks, and the fellow who made the complaint and was going to appear against him was found murdered an hour ago. His name was Whitley. We can't pin it on Nil.
Actually, I think it's Wilty, not Whitley.
Oh yeah, there's no L there. Whit Witty.
No,
Whitley?
Wilty.
Wilty.
That is an L. It's just you got the L and the T switched
Yeah.
instead of the first time.
Wilty.
All right.
We can't pin it on Nilt,
Nillet.
Nillet, because someone else was sold Wilty the stock, and Nillet has a perfect alibi for the time the killing took place.
And how do you know it was Nillet?
Because Willett gave Wilty gave a description of the salesman, and it fits a fellow named Kratz who worked with Nillet a year ago.
Well, Captain, you seem to have your trouble, so I'll be on my way. So, Nillet and Kratz are working together again. Well, there's nothing much I can do now except get a good night's rest. The next morning, in Nillet's home, here's the mail, boss.
Okay, Joe. What the? Hey, Joe.
What's up, boss?
Look at this.
Mr. Nillet, the clock will strike at midnight. Now, this was a common theme for him back then. He'd leave his calling card for his enemies, the guys
I
he was
guess he'd have a
targeting.
bunch of them printed up
Yeah,
with his own printer.
maybe. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the clock also had a torture chamber in his basement, believe it or not. I'm not kidding you either. He did. Let's scram out of here. Quick, boss.
We can't. A move like that would make us look guilty.
But we can't lick the clock.
We can't, eh? Get in touch with Kratz. Tell him to come here tonight and watch out that he isn't followed.
What's the idea of that?
The three of us are going to wait for the clock and finish him off. Would have been better. And we're going to clock him. But that probably wasn't a thing back then.
I think that was actually a term used for another like offensive term. And what I mean by offensive is as in an offensive strike, not an offensive word. But anyway, that night I've been driving around an hour, so I guess it's safe to go. Oh, okay. Actually, I thought this was gonna be the clock, but I'll be this guy. I've been driving around an hour, so I guess it's safe to go to the boss's place now. Hello, boss. Anything wrong?
Come on in and shut the door.
Gee, I thought you was the clock. The clock?
Yes, I think he's wise to us. He's coming here at midnight.
How did he find out?
I don't know, but we'll be ready for him. He should be here any minute now.
Get me a gat, Joe. Okay. Now you know what a gat is, right?
Yeah, I believe it's like a small baseball bat
No.
or something to clobber somebody with.
No, a gat is actually gat is short for like Gatling, as in a
Oh,
gun.
okay, Gatling gun. Yeah.
In 10 seconds before midnight, the clock is in Nillett's office. Good evening, gentlemen. Ah, cracks. I figured Nillett would get in touch with you. That's why I informed him I was coming. Line up against the wall. Oof! We're not alone, I see. We're not alone, I see. Wham! What the? Another trick like that, you fool, and this gun might go off. Boss, look. The guy ain't human. Okay, that looks like an interesting piece right there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you see, this hat is made of solid sponge rubber and finished to look just like felt.
Uh,
That explains why I'm still standing.
hey, Metal, how are you? We got
Who's here?
somebody in there. Metal, the Metal. He's somebody from my fan base.
Okay.
Uh,
Hey, Metal.
but
Thanks
he's a
for
good guy.
dropping in. If
Let
you
him know
can,
that we were reading old comics tonight from 1939.
well, if he can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more people in here. And I do appreciate the like and the share as well. Um, that'd be and if of course if anything here we cover grabs his attention, he can feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions as best we can. With that, let's see as we now continue. What are you gonna do with us? Nothing much. I'll explain as I go along. Turn around. Now that's not a very that's not a
Comforting
very
thought.
reassuring thing, is it?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially today, right, Rick?
Yeah.
You see, by manipulating certain vertebrae of the spine, pressure is put on certain nerves, and it paralyzes the body so that you can't move so much as an eyelid or utter a sound. Look at this guy's knowledge of anatomy, huh?
Yeah.
But you can see and hear and understand everything about you. Look at that. They're all frozen in place. Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I'll call the police. Oh, yes, Captain Kane? And one other thing. When you come, be sure and bring along a chiropractor. He'll know how to snap these boys back to life. Good night, my friend. Look at that. As I told you, right? As I told you,
Yeah.
he he likes to torture people.
Yeah. I get that.
Granted, that's not exactly torture in a way you would think, but still, I mean, to have that level of knowledge of anatomy to be able to pull
Yeah.
that off,
There's
that
only one problem with this story. As far as the captain knows, they haven't done anything to get arrested. They didn't have any information before to pin it on them, and they still don't.
yeah.
Because he never.
Didn't you call this out in another story, Rick? Where the plot didn't seem to make much sense like this?
Oh, probably.
You called this out before too. Another episode of The Clock in the October issue on sale August 30th. So now let's see. What. Let me get back up to the top here. This story was about halfway. You notice this was only 4 pages right here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess we.
sure they got Kratz and him together, but it still doesn't prove anything just because you know somebody guilty by association.
Yeah.
You might be able to get Kratz in jail. Maybe he'll squeal. Maybe he won't.
Or maybe after being paralyzed, they'll just volunteer. Oh no, we don't want to do that again. So we're just going to confess and go to jail. That's got to be better than what the clock did to us.
At that point, I'd just get out of town.
Yeah, Rube Goldberg's sideshow, Joe Palooka's boxing. Now, now feature comics here, like some of these comics in quality were a mix of reprints, like Joe Palooka by Ham Fisher here, and newer stories. They're still talking. Gallant Knight. Yeah, I guess we can just Rube Gold, Dixie Dugan here with good deal. Actually, considering we're already at an hour 40, I figured we can start to wind things down and get ready to wind the show down a bit here. But I figured we'd take a quick peek at the rest of it. Slim and Tubby. Yeah. Like if it had been let's say we got done at like an hour 20 or hour 15, hour 20, then I would have probably tried to go through some more stories. But we're getting close to the 2 hour mark here. So
if you can find like another 4-page story, we could probably do that. And still, it might be go just over.
Yeah,
it's up to you though.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've been Mickey. Well, okay, we'll finish off Mickey Finio because this is the last feature of the book. So, all right, and I'll do this one. I'll do this one on my own here.
Okay.
Hey, beat it! Beat it! The cops! Police headquarters. They take the. Well, look at this. Then they grab the kid. They're taking the kid to the police station
for fighting.
Yeah.
No less. Kid fighting. Jeez.
Yeah. 6 rounds, Spike. 2 minutes each. Okay. Biff, zap. The decision is a draw. Now shake hands. Now, of course, this is another thing about this time period right here. You see a lot of this in this time period where where one of the things the police will do in order to try to get through to juvenile. I mean, I think they still do it. It's just not as pronounced as much. But this is a big thing back in these days. Usually, when in order to try to stir kids away from delinquency, they might try to get involved in like the local YMCA or local YMCA, get involved in something like boxing or something like that, or some kind of sport to kind of you see this in a lot of stories. You see this. DC did this a few times too with a few things, but this was a common thing back then. Do you want to fight another one? Gosh, no, Mickey, I'm full. Me too. I'm sorry. No, do you want another one? Gosh, no, Mickey, I'm full. Me too. You know how handle kids, Mickey. I'm sorry. You know how to handle kids, Mickey. They'll be friends now for life. I only wish all cops would handle them that way. There'd be no fights then.
Yeah,
So
right.
see what he
Kids
did?
not
Was,
get.
I think he brought them to the gym to work out their differences. And Andy bought you both sodas? Sure. Two apiece.
Yeah, now all the kids are fighting so they'll all get sodas. Well, that didn't work out as planned. Kids know how to manipulate the system. They're smart.
Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Where are we at on time here?
45.
Yeah, I guess we can do at least one more panel here. I mean, these are like Mickey Finn by Linklater. These are like four separate stories, so they're 4 pages, but they're separate stories here.
Yeah.
So your Uncle Phil is guessing people's weight at the Fireman's Carnival, Mickey? Yes, he expects to make a lot of money. Too, Tom. If I fail to guess your weight within 5 pounds, I weigh you free. Okay then, guess me. You should tip the scales at exactly 150 pounds. Huh? I don't think he guessed right. I guess. Let's see. In my opinion, you're not over a pound over 125.
I think he's reversed those two guys. The other guy looked a little skinnier. I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I don't think much of your opinion. I wouldn't weigh 200. I wouldn't weigh 200 with rocks in my pockets. Ha ha! I just be seated, Mister. Just be seated, Mister, and you'll soon see I'm correct. Look at that. He's not very good at guessing weights, is he?
No.
It appears. Does he ever guess any right? He ain't since I've been here watching the past hour. Do uh do you think you'll hold me? Don't worry, lady. This scale would hold an elephant. Sit down. Oops! Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil, we came over to be weighed. Ain't you gonna guess any more tonight? Shut up and good night. Oh boy. So there we go. So that's it. I think we'll start wrap up here. So, anyways, Rick, if you'll of course agree to stick around afterward,
Yeah.
we're gonna wrap. But before, of course, we wrap up, we got one more piece of thing to do, which is this day in Nietzsche history. The last day of Nietzsche history of 2002. As of course, we'll next be meeting on Sunday for the weekend edition, and on Sunday, of course, when we do the weekend edition, hopefully you'll be back among the many guests, Rick. Um,
Yeah, it should be Sunday night.
yeah, as we get together our panel and this Sunday, what we're going to be doing, of course, we're going to be doing kind of a year in review, look ahead to 2023. So we'll be starting our 2023
Yeah.
this day in each, which will be this day, this weekend in each, which of course Sunday is New Year's Day.
Yeah.
So with that, we'll get to the last of the 1998, 2007. 1992 and 2007. So, with all that, Today being Friday, December 30th, 2022. We're going to head, this is going to be the last This Day in Each History of 2002. So with that, let me just do this real quick. All right, so with that, let's take a look back at this day in each history, the last of 2002 here. Today being Friday, December 30th. Let's take a look back at this day in each history. History! So first off, we're going to head back. Oh, what was that, Rick?
Oh, I didn't say a thing.
Okay, I thought you said something. But, all right, so first off, we're going to head back to 1992, as on this date 30 years ago today, Romeo Mueller, who was a screenwriter and actor, most remembered for his screenplays in the Rankin Bass holiday specials, including Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Little Drummer Boy, Frosty Snowman, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, passed away at the age of 64 on this date in 1992. So on this date back in 1992, let's see what he died. Oh, he died of a heart attack shortly after receiving a diagnosis of cancer. On this date, back in 1992, Romeo Mueller, screenwriter and actor best known for his work with Rankin Bass on their holiday specials, passed away at the age of 64. So,
Wow. He was, I won't say he was young, but he wasn't that old.
and again, Rick, you shared the link.
That's the link to my channel.
All right.
Metal knows it. He's usually on the. He's been on the panel several times for my channel. So
yeah, and I've dropped in every now and again too.
Yeah. And you're always more than welcome.
All right. So with that, as we continue on here, on this date in 1998, the 104th issue of the second volume 2, 145th issue of Flash went on sale on this date back in 1998. Now this is volume 2. This is a volume that started in 1987 after the Crisis of Infinite Earths. We will be getting into volume 1 sometime in the next year here, most likely. But on this date in 1998, which was 24 years ago today, 145th issue of the second volume of Flash went on sale for $1.99, 36 pages. The title of the story was The Gathering Storm, this was featuring Wally West, post-crisis Flash, written by Mark Waid and Brian Michael Augustin, penciled by Paul E. Pelelter. Vince Russell did the inking. Gaspar Saladino did the lettering, and Tom McCraw did the coloring. So
I may have this comic book in my collection.
You do?
I'm not 100% positive. I think I do, but
all right. So, anyways, and this is, I guess, part of the Chain Lightning story arc. So,
yeah,
on this date, 24 years ago, the 145th issue of the second volume of Flash went on sale on this date back in 1998. So, moving on to the next piece of niche history here. On this date back in 2007, 15 years ago today, Ring of Honor held its final battle event at the Manhattan Center in New York City, New York. One of the show's two main events was to feature Nigel McGuinness defending the Ring of Honor World Championship in a four-way fray against Bryan Danielson, current AEW star, Chris Hero, and Takeshi Morishima. However, the night before, McGuinness was severely injured in his defense against Austin Aries. During the match, Aries dove from the ring smashing Nigel's face on the edge of the guardrail, resulting in a concussion, a broken nose, and a gash about his eye that needed 15 stitches. As a result, Aries was added to the four-way fray, with the winner getting a shot at the Ring of Honor at the 6th anniversary show. So unfortunately, Nigel McGuinness was unable to defend the title that night. Now, since he defended it the previous night, as with most organizations, they usually have like a 30-day rule in terms of defending their titles. So as long as he wasn't going to be gone more than 30 days, he was still allowed to hold on to the title. But in this event, of course, the main event saw the tag team Age of the Fall of Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black. Let me see. Tyler Black, who is known as Seth Rollins in the WWE, by the way. They defeated the Briscoe brothers to capture the Ring of Honor World Tag Team. That was the main event. Also in that four-way fray that we talked about, Bryan Danielson won that match. Eric Stevens would defeat Roderick Strong for the FIP World Heavyweight Championship. Some other noted matches included the Hangman 3 of Adam Pearce, Brent Albright, and BJ Whitmer defeated Delirious, Kevin Steen, and El Generico in a tables are legal match. Now, just for those of you who may not know, Kevin Steen currently is WWE superstar Kevin Owens, and El Generico, as they sometimes call him, is current WWE superstar Sami Zayn. So let's see. Jack Evans defeated Necro Butcher in a no DQ match. Larry Sweeney defeated Claudio Castagnoli. And then the opening match of the night, the Vulture Squad of Ruckus and Jigsaw defeated Matt Cross and Bobby Fish. On this date in 2007, Final Battle was held in Manhattan Center, New York City, for Ring of Honor. And 2007 is just so nice that we're going to hit it twice as soon as I can find the cursor here. As also on this date in 2007, 15 years ago, the anime Minami K would finish its run. Anime Minami K would finish its run on Tokyo TV, TV Tokyo, on Japanese TV. It was produced by Dame Studios. So on this date in 2007 would be the last episode of Minami K. So there we go. So that's all we have for you in the history segment. Now, as I was mentioning, of course, we come back on Sunday. We'll be starting up. It'll be the new year, so we'll be starting up. We'll start up all over again. Looking back on the day in Niche history from 2023. So our start points, for those who might be interested, on the comic scene, it'll be 1943 will be our starting point, which will mean it'll be the earliest we'll be looking back to. For wrestling,
so January 1st, 1943.
That'll be the starting. 1943 will be the start. It'll be the earliest possible thing we'll be looking at.
Or is it going to be December 30th, 19?
No. We're just on Sunday. We're just doing it exclusive. It won't be this week. It'll be more like this day and each because we're just going to be focusing on New Year's Day.
Yeah. Well, it'd be neat to focus on the New Year's Eve too.
We won't be doing anything. We won't be looking for anything from the 31st. We'll just be looking at the 1st. So,
okay.
So 1943, which would be 80 years ago. For wrestling, our earliest start point would be 1948, marking 75 years. Now, the reason is 1948, that was the year that the National Wrestling Alliance was founded. As
Ah,
y'all, as you guys have noticed, most of the history stuff that I do for this day in each history, I cover what I call the NWA era. Anything from when the National Wrestling Alliance was founded or established all the way up to present day. So 48 for the wrestling stuff, 1948 will be the start point. For animation or cartoon history, 1923, 100 years ago from the date, will be our starting point. And from anime, it'll be 1963 will be the starting point. So just to give you guys kind of an idea of where we'll be starting. Now, as always, of course, if we don't find anything, let's say in like for comic, let's say we don't find anything of note from 1943, then we'll go 1948, 1953, and so on and so forth. Every fifth year up until a certain point. So basically at the 80 years ago, 75 years ago, 60, 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. That's basically how we do it. So with that, guys, I thank everybody for being here tonight. We just went just slightly beyond that 2-hour mark. Rick, if you can stick around afterwards for some post game wrap up and also the setup for the next date, that'd be appreciated. So with that, I thank everybody for being here. And with that, I bid you all adieu, and I will see you. I hope to see everybody back here on Sunday.
see everybody next year.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody! When you come back, so have a good weekend. Hope to see everybody back here on Sunday. Bye.